Good morning everybody. Today explain about the frame tags in HTML. Frames allow for multiple .html documentation. Multiple web pages you are created to the single place is nothing but frame tag. To display the inside one browser, each HTML documentation is called to the frame. And each frame is the independent of the others. The frame tag defines the one particular window. You are created to the multiple web pages and design the one window is nothing but the frame. You are using the two tags frame set and frame. With the documentation or web page, you receive the frame SRC and you design the using the tag is the frame set. The frame set can be different attributes such as the border, scrolling and ability to resize the etc. And disadvantages of using frames. The web developer must keep track of more HTML documentations. It is developed to print entire page. User obtain dislike them and present linking the challenges. People often use the frame to wrap their own ads and branding around the others people's. Okay, let's one syntax formation frame. This is the two ways column span and row span. The multiple pages depend the percentage column span 25 percentage 40 percentage and 50 percentage depend on the web page. Okay, next one frame set close frame name src scrolling number of options is there where cols means the specify the number of size of columns in the frame set. Row the specify the number of size and rows and frame set. Name specify the name and frame. SRC the specify the URL and a documentation show in the frame. Scrolling the specify the whether or not display the scrolling in the frame. The frame border. Okay, the frame was specify the whether or not display the border around the frame. The first example you are created to the number of web pages are completed to the web pages design the one frame. The first I will design the three web pages. The first web page, open the notepad and type the following the code. HTML, this is the execution is started. Next head. You write the title information, title, frame A, title close, head close. Next one, body, background, apply the background color is blue. Okay, angle bracket close, H1 align center, this frame is A, H1 close and next body close and HTML close. After completed to the program, save the above program is the frame.html. Okay, this one web page is the completed. Okay, background color is blue and alignment center frame A. Second web page, the open notepad type following the code HTML. Execution is started. Title frame B. You write the head tag, head open. Next, inside the title, frame B, title close and head close. This is the default section. Next, body background color is the pink. Second web page. This is the second web page. Background color is pink. Background color equal to double quotation pink. H1 align is equal to center. This frame B. H1 close and next one body close and HTML close. Save the above program is the frame B.html. Second web page is the completed. Next one, open the notepad. Next, and type the following code and HTML head and frame C. Execution is started to the HTML head title frame C and title close and head close. Body background color is equal to red. H1 align is equal to center frame C. Third web page is the created, background color is the red and frame C and body close and HTML close and the third web page is the completed. Save the above program is the framec.html. Okay, three web pages is the created. The first web page frame.html, second web page frame.html, third web page framec.html. Okay, next one you are created to the frame set. All three web pages you are created to the single page. Open the notepad and type the following the code. Frame set column span. The first web page 25 percentage, second web page asterisk and third web page 25 percentage. First frame is 25 percentage, third frame is the 25 percentage, remaining frame B frame is 50 percentage, totally 100 percentage. Okay, frame src, the first frame is frame a dot html, second frame src, second frame is frame b dot html, frame src frame c dot html. Okay, frame set close and html close. Okay, three web pages you are created to this single page. The first web page is background blue, center alignment, this is the frame a. Next frame b, this is the center alignment and background color is the pink. Third one, the background color is the red, this is the frame c. Totally three frames you are created to the one web page using frame set and frame, two tags are you are using. Next one, explain about forms in html. If form is the area contained from elements, the form is, suppose you enter the any information in the web page, you are created to the form, the text field and text boxes and radio buttons, you are any elements you are created to the form. Okay, first one, the form is used to the add an elements and interact with the web page. HTML forms are used to collect the different kind of user inputs. Form elements are the elements that allow the user enter information in the form, like a text field, text area field, drop down menu, radio buttons and check boxes and so on. Okay, the one example form is name. Next checkbox, you write the information, your name. Next one, mail, your mail is the enter the checkbox. Comment, the comment section, you write the checkbox. Next one, send button, reset button. Okay, you are created to this small form. Okay, every button, okay, clearly explain this tags and this topic. General format or formation of the form. This is the syntax formation of the form. You write the tag is form, angle bracket open, form, angle bracket close. Write the information. Input elements. Input elements are check boxes and radio boxes and text boxes and buttons, anything. Angle bracket open / form. Okay. Next one, how to create the form. Syntax formation, form action is equal to URL and methods. Okay, any input values, form is the close. Where action specify the send the form data when form is submitted. Method specify the HTTP method uses the sending from the data. Get means the specify the resources. Post means submit the process of specify the resources. Okay, suppose you are created to the small form, you enter the text box. How to create the text box? Listen. Input type is equal to text. Text means you are created to the text box. Input type is checkbox. You are created to the checkbox. Input type is radio. You are created to the radio button. Password, checkbox, radio buttons, etc. The all informations you are using. Input type is specify the input. User can enter the data. User can enter the data. You are using tag is input. Elements are used within form. Element declaration input control that allow the user input data, and input field can be vary in many ways of depending on the type of attributes. Where type is specify the type input element is the display name. The specify the name is input element. The value is the specify the value is input element. Checked. The specify that is the input element should be pre-selected of the page loaded and checkboxes, size and length, src source alignment. Next one, select the name. The element used the created to the drop down list. When you are created to the form, insert the drop down list, you choose the tag is select. The option tag, the suppose one example, group is selection name is group. Number of options is there. First one, BSc, BCom and BA. You are using tag is option. Two tags is there, option tag and selection tag. Next one, option value is the string. This is the define the option, select the list. Option element is the inside the selection and data list is the element. Option tag can be sent without any attributes, but we usually need to the value attributes, which indicates that to the send server if you have long list of options where value is specify the value sent of the server. Okay, next test area. Suppose a test area define the multiple lines test in the control. Multiple lines and multiple data information is the stored particular area is the nothing but test area. The whole unlimited number of characters test render fixed with. The size of the test area can be specified the columns and rows attributes even the better through. Where name is the specify the name of the test area, rows specify the width of the test area, columns with the visible number of lines in the test area. Okay, next one input tag. And use the tag is the input tag. The type input specifies within type of attributes. The test boxes and radio boxes and next one radio buttons and etc. Test field. The test field used to the you want user type letters numbers as to in the form. Okay, next you are created to the small form HTML and next you type the head and the title. You are created to the form and the title tag close and header tag close. That is the default. Next one body tag is open. Form action first name input type is first name. After you are created to the text box. Okay. Compulsory you are using input type tag. Input type is equal to test. You are created to the test box. Input type is a radio button. You are created to the radio button. Input type is checkbox. You are created to the checkbox in the on the web page. Okay, BR. Last input type is a test name last name. Next one form close and body close and HTML close. The output is first name after you write input type is equal to test. Immediately test box is created. Last name input type you write the test immediately created to the test box. Next one check boxes. The following the example determine the how to create the checkboxes on the web page. HTML and body form action. I have bike immediately checkbox is created. Checkbox is designed. Okay, how to create the checkbox? You are using input type. Input type is equal to checkbox name vehicle value bike. That is your choice. Next one BR. This is the BR means single tag. BR means break. I have car. Input type is equal to checkbox. Please check the output. I have bike. Immediately checkbox is created. Enable or disable. The tick enable and without tick is the disable. Okay. Next one. Input type is equal to checkbox. Name vehicle value car. BR. I have an aeroplane. Input type is equal to checkbox. Name vehicle value aeroplane. Okay. Next one. Form is the close and body is the close and next one HTML is the close. Next output. I have a bike. Okay, immediately. Next one. The checkbox is the display. I have a car. Immediately. The checkbox is the design before you write the tag is input type is equal to checkbox. Okay. Next radio buttons. When user click the radio button, that button become a selected and all of the buttons in the same group become the deselected. The following the example demonstrated how to create it to the radio button on the HTML form. HTML body form action mail input type is equal to radio button check name and name representation value male BR female input type is equal to radio name is equal to name representation value is equal to female. Next one form body and HTML. This is the total information about the radio buttons. Okay. Next male and radio button enable and disable option. Female radio button enable and disable option. Drop down list previous I explained this the small tag. The following the example show the create the simple drop down list HTML page and a drop down list is the selected list, HTML and body. Form action, drop down list. Suppose small example group, you click the group, immediately display the BCom and BSc and BA. That is the drop down list. Select the name cars, car is the drop down, immediately click the Volvo car and Saab car and Audi car. Okay, the drop down list, the main element is the main element using select tag. Select name is cars. The options name is option value is equal to Volvo. Okay, the information display the middle of text after you write the option tag close. Okay, option value is equal to Saab. The information you write, immediately the option tag is closed. Option tag is the next one Audi and immediately option close, select and form and body close and HTML close. Next one test area. Using test area, a multi-line test input control, we can write an unlimited number of characters. A test area can be a form and elsewhere on the page. HTML and body. Test area rows is equal to 10, columns is equal to 10. Okay, the test area you write the information multiple lines, the information you write, and you can write the unlimited number of characters. How many characters, how many lines, how many rows and how many columns is the representation in the position. The test area rows is equal to 10, columns is equal to 30. The cat was playing in the garden. The test area, the body close and HTML close. Okay, you are created to the test area box and the cat was playing in the garden. Next, you are aggregated to the buttons. Buttons are commonly item on the form. The following example demonstrate how to create a button. We can define our own text on the face of button. Okay, just you are aggregated to the small button in the small button in the form. Okay, form action. Input type is equal to button. Value hello world. Form close and body close. Just you are created to the one button. The value hello world. Suppose the input type is equal to button, value is equal to save. You are created to the one save button. Okay, next one field set. The field set is the grouping of data field. The following example demonstrate how to draw the border with caption around our data. HTML body, field set, lesson and health information, form action, height. You are created to the text box, size 3, weight, input type, text box, size is 3. 3 characters, 3 representation is stored. Field set. If there no border around the input and our browser is too old. Okay, HTML is body close and HTML close. Action attribute. When you click the submit button, consists of the forms and the server. From the action attribute is defined to the name of the file sent to the content to. The file defined the action attribute usually does something with the received input. Form name is the input, action is the HTML submit. This is the totally previous I will explain. I explained it. Okay, definitely user, text box and submit button. Form name is input. Form name is input and type, input type is equal to text. Name, last name, value, mouse and size 20. Okay, the type first name is text box is the display. The type your last name is the text box is the display. Immediately input type is equal to submit. Submit button is the created value button. That is the total information. Form with check boxes. Form name is the inputted. I have bike. Input type is equal to check box. I have bike. Input type is equal to check box. I have car. Input type is equal to check box. I have an aeroplane. Input type is equal to check box. Input type is equal to submit. Value is equal to submit. Form with radio buttons. HTML, form name is the input, mail, input type, mail, input type, radio button, BR, break, Female, input type is equal to radio buttons. Immediately input type is equal to submit, value is equal to submit. Okay, this is the total information about the forms. Okay, next one, write about HTML documentation head. You write the any information head, the title information, meta information, description information, keyboard, any information in the head. The HTML header contains the several notable items with the include DOC type. DOC type means they give the description of type HTML documentation. This is the meta name. This is the description of page of search engine. Meta name keywords. This is the search keywords which search engine may be used the find our page. Define the name of our documentation, our browser. That is the title. The element base. The tag use enforce relate to the linking between the pages and the documentation. Base href I reference is equal to URL. Uniform resources locator. A string character use the identify the name or browser. Link. This is used to specify the relationship. The link means one page to another page. Go to one page to another page. Link rel type the href URL type string. The media specified on the device linked documentation will be displayed. Meta used to the set specify the character or the web page provided to the information reader and search the engine. The metadata, the meta name is the specified the metadata. HTTP they provided to the header and the information value of the content attributes. Script, they using the embedded script of the HTML. Okay, style, this is used the embedded style in the HTML. Title, this is the documentation. Suppose you write the any information, the title information, meta information and script information and styles information, you write within the header. Okay, next let's start more HTML. Explain how to multimedia objects are including the HTML documentation. Suppose multimedia objects you are created in the web page using tag is offset tag, angle bracket open, offset and angle bracket close. The object tag define the embedded objects within the HTML documentation. This element insert the multimedia audios and videos, Java applets and ActiveX and PDF and Flash in web pages. How to design and how to implementation in the web page, the multimedia objects, the syntax formation is object class id is equal to URL, data URL, code base URL, type string, standard by string and height and width and object close. Where class id define the class id value set of Windows register URL. Data, specify the URL resources used to the object. And the next one, the data, specify the URL resources used to the object. Code base, define the where the find code for the object related to the code is the displayed on the screen. Type, specify the MIME type of data specified in the data attributes. Standard by, define a test display object is loaded. Height, the screen height is the mention, specify the height of object. The specify the width of object, the screen width and height is the mention compulsory in this documentation, in this web page, in this coding. The title attributes is the provided to the title of elements. We can also use object tag, angle bracket open, object and angle bracket close. Tag to insert another web page or HTML documentation. We can use param tag, pass the parameter plugins, the buttons that have been embedded within the object tag. Next one, param, the syntax formation param name is string value string type and string value type is the object. Next one, where name, specific name of the parameters. Value, specific value of parameters. Type, the MIM type of parameters. The total information arrive the small web page. Design the number of tags using small web page. Okay. Next one, this is the small web page. HTML, next one head, title, embedded object and head clause. This is the default section. Body. The p tag next paragraph contains and object some parameters. Object class id, the id representation width and height. Param name, auto start button, the previous object class id, the code is the represent width and height. Clear, observe, this is the class id representation, width and height, screen is the display. Next one, param name, auto start button is the display, value is the false. Param name, stick to fit value, the button is the display, value is the true. Param name is URL mode, value is the fill. The param name URL representation and value, and the location is the value representation, the angle bracket close. P, the browser does not support it, Windows Media Player is the project. The P, that is the default statement, you write, that is your choice. The angle bracket open, object close and body close after completed to the program. Okay, body close and HTML close after completed the program. On the screen is the display. Okay, this is the multimedia object. Okay, next one, applet. Applet is the Java program which run the Java enabled to the browser. The applet embedded in the HTML documentation applet tag. Okay, the Java program run in the HTML program using the applet. The compiled the bytecode will generate to the applet have the unique name of the using and applet tag. Applet code, class file and name and width and height. Okay, code base. The where code specific the name of the Java applet, name define the applet and specific width of the applet and specific height of the applet. Code base specific the relative URL applet, specify the code of attributes. Okay, the example, notepad open and code write the Java programming information. Import section, applet program and import AWT program and public classic basic applet example extended to the applet. The coding information is the completed after complete the Java program. Basic applet example dot Java, you save basic the Java program, class name basic applet example dot Java. Compile Java C command and created to the basic applet example dot class, the file. The open notepad, you write HTML code, HTML and head title, a simple applet, title close and head close. Okay, the information you write the basic applet example dot class. After you save the basic applet class dot Java, compile program converted to the class file. The basic applet example dot class means after compilation the Java program you are using applet code width 200 and height 50. The applet code is the completed. P tag close and body close and HTML. Save the above basic and HTML dot doc. Open basic applet example dot HTML insert browser. The output is the display on the browser. This is the information about multimedia object concept. Okay. Next one, already I explained the number of frames and forms information, number of forms. Suppose you are created to the one web page, number of text boxes, number of tick boxes, and all information already I explained. Okay, one drop down list, you are using the form action section. Okay, small program I will explain. This is the one small program, field cell and action attributes. When user click the submit button, the content sent the server. The action attributes define the name of the file, the received from the input type is equal to text the user. Okay. Next one, this is the HTML, the body open, form name, input, action HTML code and method get. The type our first name input type is equal to test. You immediately display the test box. Input type is equal to checkbox, immediately display the checkbox. Input type is equal to radio button, immediately display the radio button. Okay, BR. Our last name input type is equal to test. Last name value, this is the default information. Input type is equal to submit. Okay, this is the type. Your first name is equal to test box is the display. Next one, type your last name is equal to test box is the display. Next one, input type is equal to submit. Submit button is the display, value is equal to submit. Submit. Next, form with checkboxes. Form with checkboxes. The following the form contains the 3 checkboxes of submit button. Form name, input type is equal to checkbox, name of the vehicle, and input type of checkbox. I have a car, I have a bike, I have a aeroplane. Okay, three representations you are using. I have a bike, immediately display the checkbox. I have a car, immediately display the checkbox. I have a aeroplane. Next, input type is equal to submit. Okay, value is equal to submit. Okay, that is the total information about the